Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for my September favorites. It is getting into the second week of October, so these are running a little bit late, but it is what it is. All right, so I gathered a bunch of stuff that I'm like, oh, these are definitely my favorites throughout the month. These are products that I really like that I've got out at the moment. And then I thought what I'd also do is talk about a couple of fails and also products that I sort of want to tell you my thoughts on. They're not favorites, they're not fails, but I haven't done reviews on them and I feel like I need to check in and let you know what I'm thinking about them. So I'll try to make this as quick as possible. I say that and then it ends up being a 50-minute video, but we'll try to run through the products really quickly, starting with favorites. All right, so if you saw my video of like my typical day or day in the life of my typical day in the life as a full-time YouTuber. I mentioned that I have been using a leave-in conditioner that I got at the Priceline showcase day thing that I did a haul on the other week. And I mentioned the conditioner in there and I showed you what my hair looked like. And I love it. It is great and I still love it. I'm currently, even though my hair looks nice and smooth, I currently am not using it only because I got my hair cut 2 days ago. So this is actually like, properly blow dried and styled, straightened and everything from getting my hair cut. But I have very frizzy hair and I find it very hard to get like shiny looking hair unless I spend an hour blow drying my hair and straightening it. Whereas I noticed a huge difference with this particular leave-in conditioner and I love it. Normally what I do, because I have quite limp hair as well, is I just shampoo my hair. I don't use conditioner because I find it weighs my hair down, but a leave-in conditioner works really well for me and this one is fantastic. This is the Kristen S Weightless Shine leave-in conditioner and it does detangle, it does soften, it does control frizz, it leaves your hair looking smoother and shinier and I love this. This sort of looks like when I try to style my own hair and I kind of do it half-assed. I like try to blow dry some of it. I try to straighten some of it. This sort of gives me that effect without actually having to go through those steps. So I am obsessed with this and I am really looking forward to trying more from the range when it does hit Priceline, because it is coming to Priceline in Australia, because this product is really great. So this has been, I rarely find hair products where I'm like, that has actually changed how easy my hair has become to style. Usually I'll be like, that was a nice shampoo, made my hair feel nice and soft and clean. But when it comes to the look of my hair, there's very few things that actually have a really noticeable effect, which is why I don't talk about hair care too much. But this one was great. Another product that I got at the start of the month, and I do want to say that if you want to know how my low buy is going, I've pretty much decided that it is over. I have been spending a bit lately and it's not going to get any better as the holiday stuff gets released. So I feel like I was very good at the start of the year and I bought very few items. Like I think I bought my first item in like April and then I only bought maybe like 4 or 5 products until like June. So for me, I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Probably at the start of each year, I'll try to do like a 6-month sort of low buy. And then the second half of the year, it's going to be problematic. But that's what happened here as well. I bought this, this is the Ofra Glow Up or All Glowed Up highlighter palette. So it's a new palette. I got mine from Glamradar. I actually saw this in person and I was like, oh my God, that's gorgeous. So I had to buy it online. And I've always wanted to try Ofra highlighters. I've heard so many good things about them. A lot of YouTubers rave about them. And I wanted to try this palette because you can sort of try a bunch of different things. So these are all highlighters that you can get in the full size. So we have Rodeo Drive, which is a 4-gram highlighter here. We have Blissful, we have Star Island, and this is the big one's Beverly Hills. So you can buy each of these. You can sort of see the color there. You can buy each of these in full sizes, but I thought this is a really good way to sample it. Not only do you get like 4 highlighters, but if you look at splitting that, like if you get a smaller brush, you can actually sort of get in there and get different color variations. So you're sort of getting 9 highlighters. And I want to say I really like the formula of these. I'm wearing it today. You can see that if you sort of put it on and sort of blend it out, you get a really beautiful wet look. And I also want to apologize. There's no cats behind me. They're right next to the window now because they're enjoying sort of like the nice weather and they are pushing each other away. They're having a bit of a standoff at the moment where they're like pushing each other away, like, nope, nope, nope. So Sorry you're missing out on that. I get to watch it. So I really like the finish of these. I think if you do build it up, it's going to be very intense. Not my personal preference, but this is probably the most intense I'm willing to go. I'm actually tempted to be like, ugh, blend some of that away. But it's a beautiful glowy highlighter and I really like them. My only issue with this is that I mainly like this color here. That's what I'm wearing today. So that is Rodeo Drive. I really like that color. It's like the perfect sort of nude for my skin. I don't like anything too harsh. So this one's more of a pink and it's a similar tone to this. So it's the same sort of depth in color, but this is more pink, that's more warm. And that one is a lot lighter. I find these are a little bit too harsh on my skin. Kind of cool tone colors stand out really obviously and I don't really love it. And then this, I sort of like mixing it together and ignoring that sort of like that little triangle here. So I sort of just mix these together. So I really like the formula, but I don't like all the shades. But it was a good way to sort of figure out which one I like the most. And if I use it up, I'll just repurchase Rodeo Drive. But I think that's a cool little sampler kit. I think they're really good quality highlighters. Now on my lips, I am wearing a lipstick that I am panning and it made me realize how much I really love this lipstick. And that's what's sometimes good about panning or shopping your stash is actually you sort of rediscover products that you haven't used for a while, but you're like, man, I love that product. And it's a MAC Velvet Teddy lipstick. I'm wearing it now. I love it. It is like a very creamy matte, so I put it on only just before filming this, so it looks still a little bit shiny, but it will settle down to more of a matte. It's like my perfect nude. It's very comfortable. It lasts really well on the lips. It looks really flattering. I love it. So for me, I really am enjoying panning this, and I did say in my Project Pan introduction for this sort of quarter that I'm only panning this because I have a backup so I'm glad I'm forcing myself to use it. And I feel like I'm giving it the love and appreciation that it deserves because it's a great lipstick and I really like it. I've been using it and it goes with everything. This is sort of how I'm wearing my makeup on a daily basis. Like I'm not wearing any lashes. I'm not wearing heaps of mascara. I'm sort of paring it down, making it a bit more glowy because the weather's getting nicer and warmer. And I just think that this lip goes with everything. It's so good. I love it. I love Velvet Teddy. Giving you some mad props. Now, when I do decide to wear a bit of color, one that I have been reaching for, and this is a new product that I was sent the whole range. I think there's 6 in the range. I'm gonna have to do a review on them and like a lip swatch test. But they're by Suva Beauty and they are the, what are they called? Moisture Matte Liquid Lipsticks. So this one's in the shade Strange and it's a beautiful mix between a red, an orange and a coral. So it's not quite a bright red, it's not quite an orangey red. It's got some like bright coral element to it as well. And it's very, very beautiful. So when I want a pop of color, I usually go for this one. It smells really nice. I'm gonna tell you quickly what I think about the formula of these because I have tried them all. I haven't tried them all multiple times, but I will get around to doing that and then doing like a lip swatch video and review. But I feel like these are very comfortable. They're not the most pigmented. You can see that like it's not like one swipe color, but they look really nice in the lips and then they feel quite thin and they do feel quite comfortable, but they tend to wear off faster than like a budge-proof liquid lipstick. It doesn't bother me so much because it means that I just have to reapply and you know that your lips are comfortable throughout the day. So I really like that. I quite like these. Not my all-time favorite formula, but very nice. And I particularly like this shade. So yeah, I will have to do a review on those. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is actually something I didn't expect to love. Haley and I were sent a bunch of new NARS single eyeshadows from Mecca, which was great. And so we just sort of divvied them up and we're like, which ones do you want? Take these, take that. And then we sort of, you can do with these as well. So they come in singles where you can depot them easily, or they come in duos. And the good thing is because you can depot them easily, that's a single, you just pop the pan out and you can just swap the containers around. So if you've got a duo, but you want to take just one shade with you, or if you've got a couple of singles that you then want to swap out to put in a duo, you can. So I actually ended up taking some of the singles that were in like the single containers and putting them in a duo. And this is a combo that I really, really love. And I'm wearing it on my eyes today. It's sort of like my everyday sort of glittery, but nude look, and I really like it. So if I wasn't actually doing a 1 month, 1 palette series, I'd probably be wearing this on my eyes pretty much every day, but these are the colors that I'm wearing. So this is sort of like, you can see it, I've got it on the inner part. This is sort of just, it's like a pinky nude silvery glitter, but it is a very, very fine, very wearable glitter. If you want to make it more intense, you can foil it, you can put it over glitter glue, but if you just put it over a primer on its own, it has this sort of like beautiful sort of light catching, it sort of just looks like a shimmer, but it's very refined and it's very, very pretty. And if you're in the sun, it catches the light beautifully. It's got a bit of dimension to it as well. It sort of catches a bit purple, a bit pink, a bit blue. It's very, very pretty, but very, very subtle. So it's not like a duochrome with like a really colorful shift. It's just a really subtle sort of pretty sparkle. So this one's called Earth Shine, and you buy it, I think, in an individual. And this one's called Virgin Gorda. It's an interesting name. And that's more of your typical shimmery nude. And I've got that on the outer corner. And I just blended all that out with sort of like this peachy nude matte, which is called Hammermetti 1. So it's from a duo. This one's from a single. So, but I'm actually really liking the NARS eyeshadows. I don't like all the colors, and I don't think they've reformulated all of them, but there are some really pretty colors in here. And this duo, I'm so happy to just use all the time. I will swatch it. They're really beautiful. One thing I don't like about the Depotable pans is that they are actually, when you move them, so like, let's swatch that again. They sort of move a bit. So they are very easy to remove, and you could find that you could accidentally pop them out if you didn't want to. But I really like these. I can't deny it. I really like them. Those are the two colors there. And I've just applied them really easily on my eyes today. I didn't build them up. I just put them on. I do want to point out that it looks really patchy here because I've got a bit of a skin reaction, so ignore that. But this is that Earth, what was it? Earth Shine, Earth something? Earth Shine, I was right. So that's Earth Shine. You can see it's got that nude sort of pinky base, but it catches silver. It also catches a bit pink, it catches a bit blue. It's really, really beautiful. And this is just that basic sort of nudie peachy shimmer that I pair it with. And I just have that combo on my eyes today, and I think it's a really, really beautiful combination. The quality is nice, and this is what I like to consider a really beautiful, refined, everyday glitter. You can really pack it on to make it a lot more reflective if you want to, or you can put it on a lot more sheerly to make it a lot more everyday sort of wearable. I would easily wear this to work. I would easily wear this to see my mum, which is what I'm doing later on. I think it's a very pretty, and it sort of just like lifts your eyes. It makes your eyes look a lot brighter and beautiful. So I love these. Also, something that I want to talk about is what I've got on my waterline. I don't know if you can see, but I've got like a turquoise kind of color. So can you see it? I don't know. But it is actually a Revlon eyeliner. I went to the Chemist Warehouse 50% off sale, and I picked up this Revlon Colorstay Cream Gel Eyeliner in the shade. What the hell are you? So it is 836 Private Island. It is a beautiful, beautiful sort of dark sort of teal color. And I really like this on the waterline because it adds a bit of a pop of color to a nude look, but it's not too intense. It wears really well. You could wear it on, just as a liner as well. But I think this is a really beautiful way to just inject a little bit of color into a really nude look. So I really like that. I think I was really impressed with the formula. It doesn't have any shimmer. It's just like a matte sort of pencil. Then I also picked up some other pencils that I also really like. These are the Rimmel Scandaleyes Kohl Kajal pencils. I love these for my waterline. This is the third or fourth one that I've used of the brown. I'm using one up in a project pan that's just a little nub, and I've used one or two before. So this is my perfect waterline color on a daily basis. It's a nice shimmery brown. It's got a bit of warmth, and it just adds a little bit of, to me, it sort of makes my lashes look a little bit more full, and I really like it. And then I also picked up a couple of other colors. I picked up a sort of shimmery black as well, but I haven't really worn it, so I won't talk about it. Then I also came across a new shade that I hadn't seen before. This is Gilded Gold in 009, and this is more of your old gold sort of greeny gold brown color, and I love these. This is such a pretty color, so I picked that up. I really enjoy it. And lastly, I also have green, 006 green. I've been wearing this a lot. Last night I wore it with sort of a burgundy eye, and I find the green just sort of like offsets the red and it just makes it pop. So this is another one, and it's just a beautiful goldy green with a bit of shimmer. And I think these work so well on the waterline because they're very creamy and they aren't the most pigmented in the world, but they do last pretty well and you see the effect. So I really enjoy these. I've been using those liners for years now, and I've added more colors to my collection, which I really like. To finish off the eyes, I'm going to talk about a couple of mascaras that I've been really loving. And this one I'm wearing today, it's very subtle. It's a little bit more muted. And I demonstrated this in my 1 month, 1 palette, naked 1 palette video that should have been up already. So this is a burgundy mascara by L'Oreal. It's a voluminous original, and it's in the shade burgundy. 950 burgundy. So this is a beautiful mascara. It's not a very so this is a really pretty mascara. I don't agree with the name though. I don't think it really gives you much volume. It gives you a bit of length and definition, so it sort of separates and it just lengthens your lashes a bit, but it doesn't add much volume. But I think on a daily basis with a sort of pared down look, I think it's really, really pretty. The color also is a beautiful burgundy color. I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but it's a nice, it's definitely a lot more muted than a black, but it's sort of like a nice warmer alternative to a brown. I think this is really pretty. I'm wearing it today. You won't see it from this far back, but I think it's a pretty mascara. If you do want a lot of volume, that one doesn't cut it though. One that I do really like for volume, and I've been surprised, it's a little, sample size of the Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. This one I think gives you great volume to the point where I've actually put down my false lashes a lot. So I usually film with false lashes on beauty news and stuff like that. And there are times where I'm like, I don't even feel like I need to. I'm just going to curl my lashes and put this on, and it gives you very full lashes. So when I'm sort of going a more natural look, I like this one. When I want a more full look, this one's great. They're both really good for different reasons, but this one, if you like a bold lash, this one's great. All right, only a few favorites left to go, and I'll try to make this quick. Firstly, I've been using, because after I panned a blush, or hit pan on a blush and took it out of my project pan, I've been playing with other things. This one I've been particularly loving. This is by Benefit. It's the Gold Rush blush. Look, this is so nude that it barely shows up on your skin, which is good though, because you can put a bit on without it sort of being too intense or scary. It's a very soft sort of peachy blush. It's there. So it's a very soft peachy blush with a bit of a sheen. It just makes your cheeks look a little bit more healthy. But this is such a basic blush that you barely can see when you put it on, so you can go heavy-handed and it won't, look like a clown. So it's a nice sort of just add a little bit of color without too much blush. But what I actually really love about this, and it's going to sound really ridiculous, but I really like the scent of it. In the pan, I don't like it so much, but when I put it on a fluffy brush and I put it on my face, the scent, which it is fragranced, people don't like fragrance, that's fine, but it reminds me of my favorite fragrance, which is the Calvin Klein CK2. It has that sort of fresh, sort of really beautiful scent. It smells more like coconut in the pan, but it's just a beautiful scent, and it just makes my morning. When I'm putting my makeup on, I'm like, oh, that was pleasant. So yeah, if you don't like fragrance, don't go for it. But for me, this has been a nice effect. It's very subtle, and I just love the experience of it. It doesn't linger, which is great, but I really like it. I like the experience. Okay, I want to talk about some nail polishes. One that I am wearing currently, these guys here. So this is from the latest collection of Graceful Nail Polish. So Teresa from Graceful does send us each collection to swatch, which is great. So we really appreciate that. And it means that we're stocked up with like really cool nail polishes. They've got really good quality nail polishes. But the ones that I particularly like from this collection, which is the Enchanted Fables collection, so it's based on fairy tales. So this one is called Sleeping Rose, this one's called Belle of the Ball, and this one's Mr. Right. So you can see that they are all sort of colorful, but they're quite wearable. I've been wearing the yellow quite a bit, but these are all the thermal ones. So Hayley and I sort of split the collection. She takes colors that she likes. She often goes for the really glittery, really sort of like holographic ones. And I really like the thermals. I think the thermals are great. I'm currently wearing this one, but you can see I'm quite warm. So it's starting to turn like a lighter lighter blue. So you can see for some reason this finger is less warm than these fingers, but it's really cool because, and there you can see that the tips, I don't know if you can see the tips are a darker blue. So if I hold this like that, you can see the cool color and also the warm color. And I just really like the thermals that do that. I think both colors are really flattering. So I like the dark blue, I like the light blue. I think they're beautiful colors, and these do the same things. So the pink goes a really light, beautiful sort of nude pink, and the yellow goes a lighter yellow, so more of a pastel yellow. I really like these. I think the colors are fun for spring. I've been enjoying them. I've got the pink on my toenails at the moment. The only thing that I don't think is necessary in these and sort of takes away from the beautiful colors and the thermals is the fact that they all have some glitter in there. So for example, the yellow has like a red and gold glitter, and I feel like the glitter is, it takes it, in my opinion, like they're still beautiful and wearable and I like using them, but I think it just takes away from the beautiful colors and the fact that they shift colors, because I think, yeah, the glitter in these are a little bit too much. So I still really love these and I still am using them a lot, but I feel like if they didn't have the glitter, the color and the thermal nature of them would shine through a little bit more, and that would be the focal point. But I really like these. So yeah, I've been wearing these for the past 2 weeks and I will continue to wear them. Something I picked up last week, and I put this on Instagram, was the Carmex Watermelon Moisturizing Lip Balm. I love Carmex. I love the menthol feel. And I also really love watermelon. So I picked this up and I really like it. So it is your traditional Carmex. It's got that menthol feel to it. So if you don't like that, this does have it. And it doesn't have color, which is good, but it smells like, I'm going to say it smells like sweet pineapple juice. I don't think it smells so much like watermelon. I think it smells very tropical and very sweet and very fruity. But I think it reminds me of when you get like the pineapple syrup out of the canned pineapples. But I still really like it. I think it's really, really nice. I think it's a beautiful sort of fresh take, a warmer weather take on Carmex. I really enjoy it. So if you like fruity scents and Carmex, I recommend that. I got it at Chemist Warehouse. I had to go to 2 Chemist Warehouse to find it. So there's that. Another thing I want to mention is just a technique that I've been using, and I have heard about this for a long time, but I always didn't want to do it because I didn't want to waste product. So with your makeup sponges, often if you wear long wear foundation, especially matte long wear foundation, very hard to remove, especially concealers, like thick concealers, hard to remove. Whereas I knew that cleansing oils remove it very well. But I was like, cleansing oils are a precious commodity. I do not want to waste my cleansing oils washing my sponges. But then I realized I've got a couple of cleansing oils under my sink in the bathroom from when I went to Japan. I picked them up really cheap and it's been over a year and I still haven't got around to using them. So I decided to dedicate one of my Muji ones, which are pretty affordable. You can get them in Australia. I think they're like under 20 bucks. So this is a 400 ml bottle. And I've been using this on my sponges. So what I tend to do is I'll have a few sponges on the go, and then after a few days that my sponges have been sitting there dirty, I'll take them and I'll pump a few pumps of this into it. And you have to pump it in when it's not, the sponge isn't wet. So the sponge has to be dry with the product so it can really break down the product, because as soon as you add in water, it emulsifies and turns into a liquid and washes out. So don't use this on a wet sponge, wait until they're dry, but it removes makeup beautifully. So this has now become my the one I've designated for cleaning my sponges, and it's made my life so much easier. So if you do have cleansing oils that you don't like on your face, like I'm not saying I don't like this on my face, I'm just saying I've got 2 bottles of it and it was affordable, or if you found an affordable one, it's great for cleaning sponges. Last 2 things are products that I picked up at the Priceline showcase thing, and these are products that I can sort of see instant effects with. I've tried some more products and I'm not sure how I feel about them. I've tried new skincare this month, but I'm waiting to see how I feel about it. So these are sort of like more instant products I can tell that I really like. One is by Thursday Plantation. This is probably, besides the maybe the leave-in conditioner, this is a thing that I've been really, really impressed with. So this is the Macadamia Ultra Hydrating Daily Body Oil. And I love this. It is a little bit, it's an oil. It feels a little bit greasy when you apply it, but it is fantastic. sinks into your skin really, really well and doesn't leave your skin feeling greasy. I've put this on my arms this morning and my skin just feels smooth. You can feel that it's got a little bit of moisture on it, but it's not greasy, it's not slippery, it's not uncomfortable, you don't feel like you're sticking to things. And I love this. And then when you do have used it for a couple of days or even one day, you just go, oh, my skin feels so much smoother. So I really love this. And I think this is pretty affordable. So this is definitely going to be a body oil that I sort of keep in my rotation, because if you like body oils, this is a very good one. I've got oily skin and it works well on me. The last favorite is sort of like a carry on from last month. So last month I mentioned the Shea Moisture African Black Soap, and I really like this. I've still got one in my shower and I really enjoy it. But I also picked up this African Black Soap Soothing Body Wash in the Priceline haul thing that I did. And I love this. This is so good. You use the smallest amount, it lathers really well, cleans the skin really well, but it doesn't leave you feel stripped because it's got oils and it's got like vitamin E and aloe and butters and stuff in it to make your skin feel really sort of nourished, but it also doesn't make your skin feel overly nourished. If you are like me, I find that if I put too much moisture on my body, I can actually break out. So I really like this. It's got a really nice scent. It's a very soft scent and it smells like shea butter pretty much, but it's beautiful. So if you like a really basic shower gel that works and doesn't like feel stripping or feel too fragrant or feel too I really like this. I've been really enjoying it. Okay, I'm going to talk quickly about some other products that I've been trying this month and I don't love but don't hate, or I just want to update you on. So the first one is I've been using the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. This is the oil-free matte one. So I got this at an event. This shade is light medium, which was color matched for me. I am wearing it today and I don't love it and I don't hate it. Now, I think it wears really well on the skin. So once you've got it on your skin, it's sort of like one of those foundations you know will wear well. So it will barely break down. It will last really well. But I sort of find this a little bit difficult to apply. I find that it often needs a primer that's got a bit of a slip to it because it's like a little bit of a mousse and it sort of applies a little bit, not dryly, that's wrong, but it just sort of doesn't move and spread as easily as other foundations do. And I find that can be a little bit difficult with the application. If you put it on a sponge, I find the sponge absorbs a lot of it and you don't get much on your face. If you use a brush, I find that because it's more of a mousse, it sort of skips over your texture and doesn't push into like the pores to make it look smooth. So I find that sometimes what I've had to do is put it on with a kabuki brush and then get a clean sponge to just work it in. Other times and what I did today was sort of dot it on my face and then sponge it in. So I'm finding that it definitely needs a base that's got a slip, so it helps it slip on, and that you have to have techniques to make it work. And I find it's a little bit of work, which is why I don't love it. I also think that it's not as full coverage as I usually like. I do find that I have to go in with a bit of concealer with this because even today, like I'm wearing it and you can see a lot of sort of stuff peeking through where I didn't conceal. And I find that I often like a little smidge higher coverage, not full coverage, but like a decent medium coverage. Whereas I find this is not as good coverage as I expected. But I think the wear time is really great. So I'm a little bit conflicted by this. It's not my favorite, but I really enjoy the effect once I've got it on. But you need to have the time to make it sort of apply well, cover a lot of areas with concealer, and then you're good to go. So, yeah. Also, another issue that I've got with it is the color is really strange. So I'll put a bit on my hand. I feel like it's very orange. I'm not so sure if you can see, but I might not look as bad on camera. Hang on, I'll turn this brightness down a bit. So you can even see that my face is looking a little bit more tomato compared to the rest of me. And I've had to bronze down here to sort of match my face because I find that this looks very peachy. So it's not, it's almost like they've taken a warm tone foundation with yellow undertones and a cool tone foundation with pink undertones, mixed it together and just made an orange foundation. I'm going to compare it to my Peach Perfect, which is more of, I would say, a neutral. And hopefully you can see compared to the Peach Perfect that the IT Cosmetics is very orange. I call it peach, like it's a very peachy color, but on the face it looks kind of red. So I don't love the color as well. So I find that whenever I use it, I sort of have to adjust the color a little bit. So for me, there are good things and there are bad things about the foundation. The best thing being the wear time. I think once you've got it on, it sort of just stays and looks really nice. But I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not singing its praises, but it's not a disappointment. It's just, and like I'll use it, but the color choice is so weird. Why do you need a peach foundation? It's a bit odd. Also an update on these guys. So these are the Fudge Professional Cool Brunette Shampoo and Conditioner. I will have a video coming up. I did cut my hair, but before I cut off the ends that are quite orange, I did test this on sort of part of my hair, and I do think it works. So the color, I'll take this off so you can see the color. Ooh, it is very, very blue. It's sort of like the color of my nail polish. And it definitely does neutralize brassy tones. This has a blue color to it as well. This does stay in your hands, but generally you can sort of get it off once you're shampooing. I think these do work. I think they're great. I think at the moment, because I don't have much color treated hair, it's mainly cut off. I don't need these too much, but I definitely will play with these more. But if you do have brassy tones in your brown hair, I think you'll really like these. I think they work. They're very strong. And I think also if you sort of wanted to neutralize them a lot, you could probably put this on your hair and pin up your hair and keep it in for like an hour or half an hour so it can like really take. Otherwise, you can just use them every wash or every other wash to maintain it. I think they're good products. I think, yeah, if you've got brassy brown hair, you'll really like these. Okay, another couple of products that I tried from the Priceline haul thing that I wanted to update you on. I did try this Hask Rosé Wine Color Protection 10-in-1 leave-in spray. This really didn't do much for my hair. This is like a thick conditioner that you spray in, and I just found that it didn't really do much. Definitely this takes the cake. This is way better than this. This I didn't really see any results. It was like, yeah, it detangles, but it doesn't actually do much to the finish of the hair. Then I did try a few times this Schick razor. So this is the Fab, the forward and backward. So you can go up or down with the razor. And I do find that doing that doesn't work that great. And I think it's because one way has only 2 razors and the other way has 3. So the traditional going up works a lot better than the going down. So I found that this was best around your knees. I think it works really well around your knees. So yeah, it does sort of work, but I don't think it's as effective as it is claiming to be. And I definitely just find it easier just to go up instead of up, down, up, down. Around the knees, like I said, it's kind of good to get in there and go up, down, up, down. But yeah, I think this works better just going up. All right, on to things that I didn't like, and I'm going to leave the biggest thing till last. I'm sure you're sort of expecting it. But one thing I wanted to mention was the Benefit Boing airbrush concealer. I got this as a sample, and I sort of thought Boing was really high coverage, but then I realized they have different Boing concealers. Airbrush, I sort of expected it to look good on your skin. It doesn't. It's sort of really greasy and it looks all right there. But if you sort of, let's say if we try to cover these, it doesn't really cover much. And I was like, what are you doing? And I remember I actually thought this was a high coverage concealer, and I put it like under my eyes, and I'm like, it's not covering anything. It's like I'm just applying like greasiness under my eyes. I didn't see the point of this. I don't like it. I'm actually chucking this out because it doesn't do much for me. And that actually removed these more than covered them. So it doesn't cover much. It's just like greasiness under your eyes. So I didn't like this airbrush concealer. It wouldn't cover spots well enough, and it's too greasy to sort of stay put. I don't get it. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up with the biggest sort of controversial thing that I said on my channel in the last month, which is I was disappointed with the Pat McGrath Mothership palette. Now, a lot of people to that review was like, you're applying it wrong. You didn't use your fingers. You didn't foil it. You don't like it because you didn't apply it wrong. Wrong. That's not why I didn't like it at all. I found the application was fine. When I first tried it with a set base and it didn't stick, I realized treat these like loose glitters and they work. I then tried to use them in different ways to pare the glitter down because I found the shades in here. The colors were beautiful. The finishes were very flaky, very heavy on the eyes. Fallout went everywhere. I just found that the glitters were very bold and unrefined. And I figured that for a palette that is 200 Australian dollars plus shipping, I expected these to be a lot more refined and wearable and not like disco balls on your eyes. So for me, I know how to use glitters. I'm aware of how to use glitters. It wasn't the application, it was the finish. I didn't like the looks that this created for a daily basis. Going out to New Year's Eve, sure, this is a great palette. Going out to a Christmas party, sure, great palette. But I don't want to spend $200 plus shipping on a palette that I'm only going to wear to extreme glitter events. Like it doesn't do it for me. I found that it was not as versatile as it looks. And from the colors, you sort of expect that this half is going to be very wearable. That half is sort of like the fun special element. And it's not. These were Fallout City. They were flaky. They were bold. I wore this brown with gold glitter out with one of these other sort of topper shades. And I was actually embarrassed to bump into a subscriber because I was like, oh my God, that person's going to think I wear drag queen makeup on a daily basis because this is extreme. I just thought for the price, it was going to be more refined and beautiful. The colors are beautiful. The finishes, if you put them on very boldly, they can be very beautiful, but not what I want to wear on a daily basis. And I love glitter on a daily basis. So this missed the mark for me. So it was the finish and how refined they were for the price. That's what disappointed me, not the application. I was fine with how they applied their glitters. It's not rocket science. So I just wanted to point out that, like, for example, this one, like, they can look really beautiful, but they're just bold on the eye. If you have a look at this, I actually find that ColourPop is just as good, but probably more refined and wearable. Why would I spend $20 an eyeshadow for this when ColourPop gives me something that actually looks just as nice? I just don't get it. For me, it's not worth the money. It's just not worth the money. I also find that this catnip one that was in the Laura Lee collection is a beautiful sort of everyday sparkle. This is similar to that rose gold in there. Let's have a look. All right, ColourPop there, Pat McGrath there. Different colors. This one's more sort of subtle and more bronze, whereas the other one's more sort of rosy, but they give the same effect. Why spend so much money on a palette when you can pick up these so much cheaper and they do the same thing? And then if you look at it the other way, why is Pat McGrath trying to sell you products that have the same effect as ColourPop Super Shock shadows? I don't know. So yeah, all the people that are like, you're doing it wrong. It's not about the application. It's about this, $200 plus shipping. These, super fucking cheap, same effect. And sorry that I've got Pat McGrath, ColourPop. But you can see, same effect. It's the same fucking thing. So just don't, if you want the glitters in this, just go find the glittery shades in ColourPop. They bring out some beautiful duochrome ones at Christmas, which is what this one was. Yeah, there are better things out there or just as good for a lot cheaper. That was my issue with the palette. The palette itself is pretty. I kind of want my money back. Anyway, guys, I'm wrapping it up there. If you do want to see any reviews that I've done of these products, or you missed me saying the name and you want to see what they are, I'll list them all in the description box down below. And I'm very sorry for the people that I offended with the Pat McGrath thing. If you love it, that is fine. For me, I've got better things that are cheaper. And if I'm paying $200 for a palette in Australian dollars plus shipping, I expect it to be like head and shoulders above ColourPop. And it's not. So if you love it, keep using it, enjoy it. I will keep using it too, but I'm not going to buy another one because I think the price is a ripoff. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.